with, we asked Perry Central Jasper that came into the Crawford County location, and those kids had big ideas. They saw this door that Jasper helps put together, and that's what they wanted. They didn't want to think about the brake pads and boxing it, and so there was a learning gap that they didn't even know existed in the beginning. So it took the Jasper team and the Waupaca team to come together, and these kids learned to do a return on your investment. They learned how to do a presentation, and so they put together this presentation to ask Luke for the business. And so I'm the soft one in the group, and I'm like, oh, wasn't that good? And Luke's like, no. Make them go back and do it again. It wasn't good enough. And I'm like, they're kids. It was fine. And he's like, no, they need to go back and they need to do it right. So we went back and we worked on it, and when it came back, it was amazing. So Luke was right. I was wrong. But I sure was hard for me to tell those little kids no to start with.
and it's a good example. As we work through this, it is a business. And they brought an idea to us that didn't quite make sense. It was going to add labor. It was going to add time. It was going to add materials. It looked pretty in the end, but that's not what business is about. And so we've been very candid with these kids, and I hate to even call them kids, young adults, because they are very intelligent, and they're there to tell them, guys, if this was your business, if you were paying for these materials and doing this, is this how you would do it? And they shook their head, no, we would not do it. Okay, so don't pose that idea. And so it's been great to have a project lead that we can go back and forth and we can talk about what is that next step? How do we make this product better? Because like Susan was saying, they came in and wanted this, they had these grandiose ideas of making these very elaborate plans. Start with the basics. Start with packaging. Start with the basics and then continue to grow. And they've done that throughout the time.
One of my other favorite stories is that Jasper Engines was picked by the state level to pick a student out of Commodore Manufacturing based on their relationship to receive a $1,000 scholarship. So Jody got with Waupaca and Jasper, and they picked the student. And I took for granted that your kids get recognized. This child had not ever been recognized for anything. And he actually, he and his mother got to come to Indianapolis. Staying in a motel was a big deal. And when they called his name in front of this group of people to go up and get this scholarship and this award, and I watched his mother cry, Jody and I cried right along with her, but that was amazing. To me, that's what it's all about. This child who may not have done anything, who didn't think he was capable of doing anything, through Commodore Manufacturing and the mentors from guys like on either side of me, has really, he works at Jasper Engines. He wants to be a team leader. And I asked him something about Luke, and he said, oh, it's great. He said, when I talk to Luke, it's just like talking to somebody at Walmart. So I came back and I told Luke, I said, that's got to be the greatest compliment you've ever got right there. So
try and get him engaged. He was just, he was kind of standoffish and thought this was kind of silly. And now he's the guy that I can be walking down our aisleway at our facility, and he sees me 20 feet away, and he's hollering at me and tells me all about the things that he's doing, and he's so excited. And to me, that's what it's all about. He saw that he had something in him that he never knew was there before. And it's extremely exciting whenever those types of things happen. And we've got another young lady in with us this summer, and she became kind of their manager at Commodore Manufacturing. She started doing the email process back and forth, working on processes, and she's one that whenever we first started talking to her, she was very quiet, and she kind of stood in the back of the class, didn't talk to anybody, and now she's running the show. Seeing those things happening in their lives is huge. It's really neat. It's really neat.
And I walked by, and Jasper's quality engineer was having a conversation, and I was just could not believe the in-depthness of the conversation from her standpoint. They had figured out a better bolt or a better thing. It was almost radiators. And I was sitting back there going, oh my goodness, because no adult was involved. Not the teacher, not the administration. This was a student reaching out to a quality engineer, and they were having a professional education conversation. It was amazing. And it was something that we changed. It was something, they were right. It was a better way of doing that. So it's just, the adults have to stay out of it and let the students run the business.
The neat thing about the product that they do, every mail truck that you see driving around, called an LLV, a long life vehicle, they have supplied with the brakes that go onto that truck and the door with the window that goes up and down. So every mail truck, think about the medicines it delivers and the things that it's doing, those kids have a part in that. And that's amazing. It's amazing. So it's really neat what they're doing.
One of our coworkers at Jasper tells a story about being in Hawaii at a supply chain, and the person there that was in charge of that wanted to know where Commodore Manufacturing was because they were going to try to steal some of the business, because the logo that they put on the box that they put together had made it all the way to Hawaii. So that's pretty impressive.